Oke Pak, boleh.
Siapa aja yang mau ditunggu nih?
Sudah kok Pak, udah semua. Nah, ini ada apa? Teman-teman dari Huawei. This is my supervisor. Pak Arya Bayu.
Halo, siapa aja? Alter ada.
Alter
Iya.
ada. Alter ada Made juga.
Oh, ada Made, yes, lengkap lah. Oke Pak, I think we can continue to follow your presentation. Maybe first time you can introduce the team. Maybe you already know Pak Bobby, Pak Alter, and Pak Made in there. Join with you in di mana di 23 ya?
Kenapa Pak?
Di 23 nih.
3TS Pak. 3TS Pak.
Oh, alah.
3TS apa? 2.
Where's Pak Ji? Pak Ji Benkui. Benkui.
Okay, can start?
In fact, we want to deploy virtualize WAG. We should configure some servers.
Sorry. Suaranya nggak jelas.
Open mic. Oh, Pak, ini dibuka Pak, dari teman-teman Huawei Pak.
Iya.
Ya udah gini aja.
Kok ngelup ya suaranya ya? Matiin aja mikrofonnya salah satu.
Oke, sudah. Oke, Pak.
Pak.
Sudah bisa dengar Pak Bayu?
Oke, clear. Thank you for coming. Our
We continue. Sorry.
Our colleague from Huawei.
In fact, when we want to deploy virtualized function, not only
No. We don't talking about it
we should
first.
need configure some switch servers.
Halo.
And servers
Halo.
to deploy the functions. And also, maybe we need some
Benkui.
router for the gateway, for the DC gateway. So this hardware will cost much, and also for the maintenance is complex. So we don't suggest for this one. When we want to deploy this function, WAG function, we also need to configure manual for the management and some NFV, some ISS devices, and also the functions. And if we want to deploy physical WAG, all the function, all the hardware and the software, just in one router, maybe in one router. One router is enough for all the functions, include the hardware and the software. But if we want to deploy virtualized functions, we should also consider the infrastructure, the server, and also we should consider the manual, the management system. And then the last one is the function. So the system, the hardware, the software cost is higher than the physical device. And this is just for the functions. And we just go back to the technology. In fact, for the WAG or for the home broadband service, this service is not like the mobile service. This service is mostly focused on the forwarding, and it's not for the calculation functions. Calculation functions is not requirement is not so big. The service is mostly focused on the forwarding, for the forwarding, and for the physical device, all the service traffic when the device, the line card receive some service package, it's just processed in the line card. No need to forward this package, the service traffic, to the CPU or to other component. So it's simple and it's strong. The physical device is strong at the forwarding functions. And when we see mobile service, when we use the virtualized platform, the service is processed by the NIC card, and then the CPU, and also the traffic is processed by the platform and the software functions. So mobile service is required mainly calculation functions, calculation requirements, not only forwarding but also calculation. So it requires the virtualized platform maybe is suitable for the mobile service, but it's not suitable for the forwarding service like home broadband service or like the Wi-Fi service, because this service traffic mostly is for forwarding. And this table we just shows why the virtualized platform is not suitable deployed in CPU in x86 platform, because when we use CPU for forwarding, the forwarding performance is limited. You can find that when we use basic traffic forwarding, maybe for one CPU, one Intel CPU, the forwarding performance is about 16 megabps, Mbps. But if we want to add some routing function or add some session process or QoS function, the forwarding performance is reduced rapidly. As we know, when we configure one Wi-Fi user, it should include session management. Also, it includes QoS function, and also the WAG should process some routines. So, at last, the performance is reduced to 10.7 megabps for one CPU. That means if the package size is 500, for example, 500 byte. If the packet average packet length is 500 byte, the total forwarding performance for one CPU is only 5 Gbps. Maybe your server include 2 CPU. That means total server support only 10 G. It's not enough for the Wi-Fi service. It's not enough. But at the same time, for the router, one line card maybe can support 1 Tbps, but the server can only support 10 G or 20 G. For the forwarding performance is limited. And in other sense, for the latency, we test for the VNF function and PNF. PNF, that means physical network function. VNF is virtualized network function. The average latency for the VNF is more than 100 more than 170 microsecond. This is just for average latency. And for the max latency, for example, the CPU is busy, the latency is increased rapidly. Maybe just for one node, the one process, the latency is over 1 millisecond. And at the same time, the PNF physical network function, for example, the router average latency, average and max latency is much lower than the VNF.
Sorry. Is PNF and PNF. PNF is meaning physical.
A physical network function, just like a router or a physical router. And the VNF is virtualized network function, like a VWG, VWAG, or VBNG, or the EPC is virtualized. So the CPU, when we use CPU for forwarding, if the CPU is busier, that means the packet process latency is increased rapidly. But for the physical device, for the router, even the forwarding, the bandwidth usage is high. It will not affect too much because all the package is forwarding based on the hardware. The CPU will not process the package. So you can find that even maybe the bandwidth usage, the CPU usage is higher. The latency is increased not too much. Just from the 40 to 50, not too much. But if CPU is busy, when we use CPU for forwarding, the package latency increase rapidly from 30 millisecond to 30 microsecond to 1 millisecond, 3 times. So not only for performance but also for service latency, virtualized function is not good. Physical device is better. And we go to just for the cost. Go to the cost. This is the existing WAG in Telecom. Existing. This is a Huawei ME60 X8. We just compare the physical function and the virtualized function. When we configure, if for example the performance requirement is 200 Gbps traffic, we just need to configure one chassis with one line card is enough. One 200G line card is enough. But if we use the virtualized function, we need to consider 10 servers, and also with switch. I think the minimum configuration. If we want to use span-if architecture, maybe the switch quantity is more than two switch. We just use a minimum configuration, at least 2 switch plus 10 servers. And you can find that the capex for the device cost, the physical device is cheaper than the virtualized than the server, and for the power consumption, is much lower than the virtual function.
How about compatibility with another brand? In ecosystem for NFV.
NFV.
Network function virtualization.
What is NFV?
就是虚拟化
Yeah.
network.
Yeah, this is VWAG is NFV.
Compatibility with
Other vendors,
yes,
other brands.
and other brands.
In fact, all the vendors use the same CPU from Intel. Maybe most is Intel. So
The
yeah,
architecture is the same.
Yeah,
NFV
the server is general server. Huawei uses Intel server. Maybe other vendors use Intel server or the ARM server. The CPU performance is similar. is similar, all the same. So even Huawei or other vendors, the virtualized, the general server performance is similar. Maybe it's 20G or 25G, just in the same level. But for physical device, one line card maybe is 1T, 1T. But the server, maybe we use the server for the QS, for the PPU session, or for the Wi-Fi session management. The performance is reduced. Just I showed here. Sorry. When, for example, if there's no how to say, just native package, the performance maybe is high, is 16 megabps. But if we add some QS function, add some routing function, the performance reduces rapidly.
Yeah.
So for the general server, not only Huawei, but also other vendors, maybe the similar.
Okay.
The one server, maybe the performance is only 20G, maybe 20G, 30G. If the function is simple, maybe 30G, 40G. But anyway, the performance is in the same level, is lower.
Jadi dia dari Huawei membandingkan yang tadi yang physical sama virtualisasi. Nah, kalau yang physical tadi jitternya sekian, kalau yang virtualisasi jitternya sekian. Nah, physical ini dia physical WAG ini jitternya lebih rendah.
Nah, berarti kalau dalam hubungannya si Nfv ini, dia ini apa masuk punya, berarti kayak seperti dong via WAG ini seperti kayak apa namanya?
Nfv ini
bukan, maksudnya bukan PNF gitu. Bukan general, tapi dia masih kayak punya island tersendiri yang bisa lagi. Berarti kayak gimana dia?
And this configuration just include the functions. For the virtualized function, we should also consider the platform. For example, the manual in the OpenStack. This platform also needs some cost. We just compare the service function. Just compare the service function. The physical device is much better than the virtualized function, virtualized general server. If we consider the platform for the virtualization, it costs more. And not only the capex, but also the opex. We should also manage the manual, also manage the OpenStack like this, the OS system, because this is a virtualized system. We should also deploy the platform. Yeah. But for physical device, just one physical device include all the functions. That's why we suggest.
In this case, even the physical is better than
yes. In fact, this is also the industry truth. The WAG can also include the BNG. BNG is for the home brand service, and also include the WAG. Most carrier operators choose a physical device. Maybe several years ago, I remember in 2016 or 17, Deutsche Telekom chose virtualized BNG for the evolution, but next year they abandoned it because the cost is too high.
But what about the open brand? In this case, if we buy the physical, how to connect to other brand? But if we use virtual, we can choose any brand, like they have provide Intel maybe, like maybe their HP and so on. But if we use physical, how about it?
In fact, all the the standardization for the WAG process. For example, our laptop use Wi-Fi connect to WAG. The signal, this is a standard. You can use Huawei WG or use other vendors WG. The same. The process, the signal, the message between the terminal and the WG is open. It's standard. For you, just use the platform is open. You can use general server, use Huawei server, or use HP server. Right? It's open, but it's just a hardware. The software is not software for Huawei's WG software, or use other vendors software. So just for different vendor use different software. It's the same. We just how to say, buy the hardware and the software in one box. And if you use virtualized platform, first you need to integrate with the server vendor. Maybe it's HP or Dell or other vendors or Huawei's server. This is first. Second, you need to consider the OS system.
Yes, OS.
OS system, OpenStack system. Okay, you should integrate with this OS system, and then you should integrate with the function, the WAG function vendor. For example, Huawei can provide the virtual function, or Cisco provided the virtual function. So, if you use virtualized function, you should integrate with several vendors, several platforms. Yeah, this is another reason why
server, hypervisor,
software, the function.
Functionnya juga.
What the OpenStack? This is for management.
OpenStack is just like the super
Like IaaS, infrastructure service.
Yeah. OpenStack is between the OS system and the function system.
But in upper layer is VNF.
Yeah, upper layer is VNF. VNF maybe Huawei WAG, VWAG, or Cisco VWAG, or other vendors VWAG. So if you want to deploy the virtualized function, that means you should integrate with several vendors. If you want to, want to keep the platform open, you can choose several vendors physical WAG. They can integrate with they can work with each other with different different terminal. The signaling between the terminal and the WAG is standard. So I don't think that this is a closed system. It's open. All the all the router standard is open. It's not closed. You can use Huawei's router, use Cisco's router, use Nokia's router.
In existing network, I know Telcom use Huawei and everything.
Yes. In fact, I just clarify that there are two concerns for other carrier operators not choose VNF. First, about the cost. If because of the performance of the CPU is limited, the forwarding performance, the CPU is strong.
Because it is a different sector.
Yeah.
Yes, VNF, maybe commonly Intel or AMD.
Yeah. In fact, the CPU, the Intel, they mostly focus on the calculation. When they design one CPU, they mostly focus on the calculation, not focus on the forwarding. No. But for the physical vendors, for the router vendors, when they want to design a chipset, they mostly focus on the forwarding. Yeah, it's two, it's two different industry. One is the forwarding industry, another is calculation.
Ya supportnya kalau misalnya you use virtual environment or VNF, you must provide a hypervisor, you must provide a stack for the infrastructure like a stack or terus you must provide the VNF. This is a 4-layer.
Iya.
Nah, dibandingin kalau pakai physical only 1 layer.
I will show. This is
Iya, tapi kalau if you use the Intel, but the life cycle based on Intel. Intel provide new CPU.
Yeah.
Follow this. Yes.
Yeah, when Intel engineer, the R&D want to design a new CPU, they focused on they're thinking about the calculation performance, not forwarding performance. So the CPU is designed not for the forwarding, it's for the calculation. It's calculation. When the CPU is strong at calculation, like the session process, like some of the floater calculation, this is the CPU good at. But for the router, when we design for router vendor, when we want to design a new chipset, we call the network chip processor, NP chipset. This firstly, they focus on the forwarding, then maybe include some process, include some calculation, because the NP chipset also will process some routing, some session management, but it mostly focused on the forwarding. This is two different industry, and this is the case of this is not only for the VWAG, but also
IO. What mean IO?
which one?
IO in the first. Oh.
IOH.
IOH.
Indosat already touched that.
Already merged. Yeah.
This is their new name. Indosat already touched that. Nfv is home brand and also includes Wi-Fi. Yeah, because I just list other carrier operators when they choose. Because watch list is a famous topic. It's hot topic in technology. So some other vendors is also include want to deploy virtualized BNG or virtualized WAG. In fact, Huawei BNG.
Sorry, what the meaning FMC and FBB?
FMC, that means it include home brand service and also mobile service.
FMC means fixed
and
mobile
converge.
That means the vendor, the operator provide the mobile service and home broadband service.
Yeah,
in business like retail enterprise.
Yeah, like telecom provide the IndiHome.
Yes.
Is the fixed broadband service, and the telecom cell provide the mobile service.
Yeah.
Then, as we know, telecom and the telecom cell have the FMC strategy. They will combine and move the IndiHome service to telecom cell. Then we call telecom cell have the FMC. And for the Huntington and the XL, for the LH and the XL, they are the mobile service provided before, but now they also develop the home broadband service. So they also have the FMC strategy.
Yeah.
Because they play
Yeah.
They provide Excel home.
Yeah. For now, most of the home broadband business is provided by telecom. Yeah. Of course, other operators want to enter this domain.
Yeah. In fact, for Asiatat Excel, they have the virtualized BNG. Before.
Sorry. Where do you get the data?
Sorry.
The data
Source.
Data source. Because in this year, for the Excel and ROH, have the IFC to the vendors Huawei and get all the market share for the BNG, physical BNG. For ROH, they are just a new build BNG. This year choose Huawei's BNG, physical BNG for their home brand service. 100% choose Huawei. In XAO, they have their legacy BNG. The legacy BNG is virtualized. This is a Juniper's virtualized BNG. But in this year, they issue a new IFC, and this IFC just consider the physical because the virtualized have some cost is high. Yeah. in fact, for the for the top carrier operators, for example, Deutsche Telekom, German Deutsche Telekom is the top one. They pilot for virtualized BNG in 2016, but later they abandoned it because the cost, the maintenance is not good, And for the also for Saudi STC is the Middle East top one, Middle East top one carrier operator. They also want to deploy the virtualized functions. So I joined this project before. I joined this project. So many tests, because too many vendors. First, for the VNF, they consider Huawei, they consider Cisco, Nokia, and Juniper. And for the server, they consider HP, they consider Dell. And also for the OpenStack and for the the middle layer, different vendors, so many vendors. The integrated, the test is 1.5 years for the test. For this, the virtualized platform test. But finally, they drop up this solution, too complex. And also for the UAE do. They also piloted virtualized BNG, but then abandoned it. So it's not a good choice. Not a good choice for the forwarding service to use the virtualized platform. Not good choice. Because of the performance we consider the performance and the cost. Both the performance and the cost is not good.
Sorry, can you back to topology?
No, this one.
Where's WebKit?
Here.
Oh.
This is the VNF function, just installed in the server. Yeah. Have a wizard, manual, and VWG, and also switch and the gateway router. So many devices, so many hardware.
For the existing network, actually, all of these we just put the physical WAG here. It's a router. But if we want to use the VWG, we need first deploy the servers, a lot of servers, hardware and the software. Then we need to use the leaf switch to connect all the servers together. Then the spine to connect to the leaf. Then the DC gateway at the entrance to connect to the PE.
To the MPS network. So the hardware is the capex, hardware capex is higher. And also, when you manage so many devices, so many different types of device, it's a hard, how to say, it's not an easy job. Yeah, have a visual, VNF and manual, Yeah. Go back to this one. This is the comparison. If the traffic, how to say, if the traffic is not big, maybe virtualized platform is okay. If the session quantity is big, but the traffic is small, we can use virtualized platform. But if the forwarding, the traffic is higher, the virtualized function have some limitation. With the traffic higher in the, do we have traffic for the WAG in telecom to have the information, how many traffics. As we know, we already have 40 WAG, right?
Yeah.
40 WAG. So I think that the traffic is not small. Because these fixed service, not like a mobile service. Mobile service, because when we sell the package to the customer, we should sell the traffic. The package is billing by the traffic. The package is billing by the traffic. But for the fixed service, include Wi-Fi service and home broadband service, we just sell one bandwidth all the time, not to sell the traffic package. So the traffic usage, the bandwidth usage is higher. Yeah, you can find that include the space, the power consumption, the capex, opex. The physical device is beta. It's better than the visualizer function.
Any calculation about maybe if we want to minimum sizing or minimum for the implement the physical WAG or WAG?
Sorry,
comparison sizing, maybe what minimum device we need to implement, or
I think this is the minimum configuration, 200 GPS traffic.
Yes, it is for handle minimum traffic is 200.
Yeah, 200. I think one side 200 is not big, right?
Yeah, I think it's small. And you can see for the route, usually the next circle is around 10 years. The next circle.
Yeah.
And for the servers, usually 3 to 5 years.
Yes.
Yeah. So the server, actually this one can run in the network for over 10 years. But the server every 3 or 5 years you need to replace again.
Yeah.
Because the CPU developed so quick and the hardware the same.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the key difference for this solution and this solution is about the function. This is the key difference. For the hardware, as we know the OSI 7 layer model. For the hardware, for the router, usually we just reach the layer 3. All the data just end in the layer 3 and forward to another device. But if we use the servers, all the data will come from the application layer.
Yes.
Just go through the 7 layer.
In fact, this is two different industry.
That's because the machine in physical machine only for the network function.
Yeah.
Only.
Just forwarding. But with X86, which is for
But in fact, if you want to use this server for the WAG, you will not use it for another service because your service is always there. Yeah, you will not change. Maybe before you want to buy 100 server for all the service. You can choose. You can get a good discount from the server vendor. Yeah. But anyway, even you get a good discount from the server vendor, the cost is also much higher than the physical device, right? Because the performance is small for the server. The server cannot handle your services. traffic is not in different level. It's not 2 times, 3 times. It's the performance is maybe 30 times, 50 times, or even 100 times. Our device, this is the latest device. Our latest device, one line card can support 40 line card, one line card, and maximum we had 16 line card slots. This is for the physical device. But for the server, if you use good CPU, maybe the performance is from 20G to 50G, one server.
Blade server.
Yeah, because in the server, this is limited for PCI.
Yes. Actually, I just searched the picture. This is the OSI 7 layer. For the router, we just go to layer 3 network, then come to another device. But if we use the server, all the data will go to the layer 7 to do the calculation. So it with the this is the block connect of the for their forwarding. So the servers focus on calculation by using the CPU, but the router, the physical WAG, focus on the forwarding, just the forwarding data, forwarding. The data no need to come to the CPU. So it's faster, and the throughput is very high in the server. Yeah. That's the difference. So as we know, the virtualization and the verification is the tool, is the threat, but it's for the
Mobile service.
Mobile service like the core network, because all the data need to go to do some calculation. And for the IT, most of the IT system, because it's focused on the software, so it's better we can use the virtual cloud platform. But for the network, because it focuses on the forwarding, so it's better use the specific hardware. Then the performance will be very in the servers. That's the difference there.
Yeah, you want to consider the openness. In fact, I think you don't want to how to say use closed system. In fact, all the signal, all the message is open, is standard. You can use any Windows WAG. All the Windows WAG can integrate with your terminal. It's okay. It's not about the openness. In fact, for the openness, all the CPU, maybe most of the CPU is provided by Intel. It's closed, right? In the Windows, maybe physical Windows, we have 3 or 5 Windows, right? But the CPU Windows is only one.
Okay, but in virtual WAG, for we use the product.
For the physical
software.
We have the virtualized BNG for the WAG, for the WAG, but we don't suggest to.
It's only
not only me, only Huawei. I think Nokia and Juniper also have the virtualized WAG functions. But just I list here this table. Most carrier operators they have tried. For example, Deutsche Telekom, Huawei and Deutsche Telekom test first for the virtual BNG. The first vendor tested with Deutsche Telekom in 2016. 6 years ago. We test maybe about half a year, and also Deutsche Telekom then tested with other vendors, but finally they abandoned this solution. They cannot solve the performance issue. And for Saudi Telecom, this project, I joined this project. And they test several vendors, too many vendors, because they have first the server, the hypervisor, OpenStack.
What hypervisor?
Yeah, the VM, the OpenStack, different systems. And also the WinF have Cisco, Huawei, Nokia, Juniper. They tested so many vendors. They want to integrate. They also want to, how to say, provide an openness platform for the PNG. But finally, they test more than half in a years. Tested too many times. But finally, they also find it too complex. You think about it. First, you should consider the server is from which vendor. Maybe you want to test. You will do the POC test. Different server vendors, and also hypervisor. Maybe you want to choose a VM. You want to choose a stack, or you want to choose other systems. And the WinF, you also choose different vendors. And then this is the first one. If, for example, if there is some problem happens, we don't know which this problem from which layer you want to. If you want to solve this problem, you should connect with the server, the hypervisor, and also the WinF vendors, who is the integrated solution vendor. So it's complex, not only the deployment, but also the maintenance, and also the cost. Cost is a big issue. You can find that the cost just for the functions, CapEx, not include the platform, not include the manual hypervisor, just the function. You can find that for 200 GPS, the physical is only 60K USD, but for the virtualized platform is 200, more than 200. And this just for the server and the switch CapEx. We don't consider the WinF cost. If we add WinF cost, maybe two times, because software maybe is the same level with the hardware cost. This is only 200 Gbps. If the traffic is bigger, the cost gap is bigger. Cost gap is bigger. For example, the 600 Gbps for the physical, the capacity is only 100K, 120K, but we function, the server and the switch cost is over 600K.
This is type for LC1, type for 200.
Yeah, this is the one line card. One line card, because this is Huawei legacy, the existing WAG. This one line card.
This is like one card for 200.
Yeah,
okay.
200G. We also have 100G and the 400G.
Yeah.
This is the physical of blade, right?
Yeah, physical platform.
So one blade, only one card, or
in fact, this is existing device. This is a legacy device. This device have 8 service slot. Each slot support 200G. No, sorry, 400G. And we have a new platform. The new platform, each slot support 40. And we have 8 slot and 16 slot. That depends.
It's not 40 dB. Right.
4 Tbps. Yeah.
40 dB.
Yeah. 4 Tbps. Yeah, Tera. For one line card. This is our latest platform. In fact, this existing device is very old, more than 10 years. Very old, more than 10 years. Even this old platform, the performance is much higher than the service, the server, the general server. Our latest platform supports 40 per slot and 8 slot. If we deploy 8 slot, that means 32 Tera BPS.
Is that we need to redundant this physical machine if we want?
If you want to consider redundant, it's okay. We just deploy two devices. two devices in different site or in the same site, or even the LAN card. If you have two LAN card also can be redundant. That depends on the requirement.
2 chassis berarti.
Berarti kita harusnya kayak beli yang 400 GB dong, 400 GB tapi makanya 200 GB.
Ya, Pak Bayu ada yang mau ditanya Pak?
Ya. Halo.
Pak Bayu. Ada yang mau ditanya Pak?
Ya, halo. Halo.
Ya, oke, gimana Pak?
Sorry, saya coba simpulkan. Tadi yang present siapa Pak Benkui?
Iya, betul Pak.
Saya coba resume ya. Jadi, sorry, can I talk in bahasa or must be in English?
Oke, bahasa. Nggak bisa Pak. Don't understand.
Okay, regarding your presentation related to the physical and virtual, that you conclude better implement using physical than in a virtual or using server. Is it all right? Is it?
Yes.
Is it true?
Physical is better. Yes.
Physical is much better. In fact, physical is also the industry choice.
Even some of the operator do not implement on a virtual, like Dutch Telkom in a German or somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, I just listed the most popular, most top carrier operator in Asia Pacific and also Germany, Middle East, Saudi, and UAE. I just listed the top carrier operators. They choose all the carrier operators choose video. Maybe they choose the virtualized function before, but finally they abandoned because it cannot. In fact, it cannot meet your service.
So yeah, understood. So the next issue is how you maintain the compatibility and interoperability between the Huawei and others brand product. How you maintain how to operate in various brand. Can Huawei have a platform something?
Sorry. In fact, if you want to focus on openness, in fact, in telecom existing network, they have Ericsson and Huawei WAG, and the two vendors device can work together.
Okay.
Because the signal between the terminal and WAG, this signal is standard. You choose Huawei's WAG, choose Ericsson's WAG, or choose other vendor WAG. It's okay. You choose anyone, any vendor's WAG. The vendor's function will not how to say. If you, for example, if you choose Huawei's WAG, and then you want to choose another vendor's, it can work well. It's okay. It will not, for example, some vendors have some private standard. No such issue. No such issue.
What about life cycle? Life cycle. If you have a brand managed by Huawei, but this is another brand, but this other brand must be upgraded. For product.
Yeah, in fact, for the physical device, the life cycle time is much higher than the general server. In fact, for Huawei device, this existing WAG is more than 10 years. More than 10 years.
At least 10 years.
Yeah, at least 10 years for physical device. But for general server, I think the maximum
Maybe
is 5 years.
2 years.
Yeah, 2 to 5 years, 3 years, 5 years. But for physical devices, the life cycle time mostly is at least 10 years. Mostly maybe is more than 15 years. This device already works on existing network of more than 10 years. But this is a very old device. Very old device.
Ben Kui,
Yeah.
maybe maybe you know, yeah, that's in some of the country, let's say US lah. US policy related to the trade with the Huawei. They protect some technology to expose to Huawei. Then some of the product they not give to Huawei the API. So how you maintain that if the platform of the Nfv using Huawei?
In fact, this is the BCM issue. I think, in fact, this WAG it works on layer 3. So it's not a big issue for the security. In fact, our WAG, our BNG already sell in Europe. Our core, mobile core cannot sell because some security issue. Mobile core cannot sell, but the BNG and the WAG can sell because this is just works on layer 3 there.
Yeah,
No
layer
such
3, the
layer 3.
OSI 7 layer.
Yeah, layer 3 layer. It will not touch the application.
Not related to the data plane. That is related to control plane.
Even for example, maybe some US company they have some security issue, but they mostly focus on the CPD. And
there's become two issue. For me, I think that's become two issue. First, if the device not the Huawei device, but must be controlled by Huawei platform. And second issue is if the device is Huawei and must be controlled by another, let's say American product platform. How to do that?
Even this is the physical device, no need the controller, We just use the command for the configurations, not managed by other vendors controller. And in other thing, in fact, for the even you have some US company, you have some US company customer, they want to connect with your network. They're just aware the CP. They're not aware the WAG because this is a standard device. Maybe it's a Huawei device or Cisco device. They're not aware of this device because this just works on layer 3. It's how to say transparent forwarding. No application functions in this device. If for example you have a customer, they have this security issue, have this security concern, you can use Europe or US companies CP. This CP is because this CP is deployed in their company. But for the gateway is deployed in your office, in your site. They will not aware of this device.
Oh, that's great. In WAG.
One more. Sorry, Alter. One more. Sorry. One more. Could you give us the use case that is already happened? The case I give you.
I can give you the use case. Our device, our router, already deployed in Europe. Which country, which camera operator? We have this list.
Yeah, it will be better for us to understand how you maintain, how you manage that situation.
Ask our HQ to provide the user list for which vendor, which camera operators in Europe use our platform.
Yeah, mungkin you can show the
example. Maybe after this meeting because we will prepare for this. But we have this list. We can ask after this meeting. We can ask HQ to provide this information. We don't have this information now.
Okay.
But I know because I have already joined the project with the Middle East, with Europe countries. For example, Deutsche Telekom. We have many. Deutsche Telekom is German top 1 carrier operator. We also see on the local to them. We have local to them, including the BNG, including the transport network local. But this router will not touch the secret layer, the application layer, no security issue, no security.
Yeah.
Nothing about the application layer.
Yeah. I will waiting for your use case.
Okay. I
Yeah.
will ask HQ to provide the user list.
Please, Alter. Please. Silakan, Alter.
Okay, it is physical, no problem.
Yeah, physical platform.
But how about the virtual?
In fact, virtualized platform. This Deutsche Telekom, Saudi Telecom, we already have pilot with that, but finally they abandoned the solution. So
Abandoned because this is a
it's not good solution. I just said the performance limitation, the cost is high, and the maintenance is complex. The deployment, the delivery.
and the rest is a geopolitical issue. Geopolitical issue.
What's the limitation?
Yeah, like a US and
No,
not
that's not the issue.
Actually, as we know, from 2019, the US, 3 years ago,
Yes,
3 years ago, the American US tried to restrict Huawei,
yes.
but it's already 3 years ago. Huawei still did very well. So for the network product, Huawei already doesn't depend on American technology or the product there. But it just have some effect about our components by Huawei itself. So don't worry about the network product. And actually, I think in the future, the supply chain will split to maybe two, one west, one east. The word there, I mean the supply chain, maybe the chipset or others, maybe will have split to two words. One is the west, one is the east.
Anyway, in fact, I remember the sale of Huawei router in Europe, it increased the last 3 years, not dropped, but increased. Not affected by the US price.
But what you say is based on US technology is mobile phone,
Yeah, mobile phone.
server,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mobile phone.
processor,
Chipset.
No, for because of the local chipset is not CPU, it's not Intel CPU. This MP chipset.
Yeah,
This
like
chipset is
okay, like
designed by Huawei ourselves.
yeah, like your storage. In the maybe in 2016 they use Intel, but now they use Kunpeng.
So you mean the server? Yes, right. In fact, Huawei don't. If we want to deploy the virtualized platform, we use ARM system, not x86.
Yes.
We use ARM. The ARM is not implemented by US, by America. Anyway, for the physical device, if there's a few effect, because most the key computers, key chipset is designed by Huawei ourselves. For example, the MP chipset is designed by ourselves.
This operator implement Huawei.
All the operator is Huawei provided the
Huawei provide dia tahu they are provide and implement the verification.
In fact, for Huawei the BNG, our market share in Asia Pacific countries, our market share is over 7%, 70%. Yeah, our BNG over 70%. You can find that the top 1 and top 2 of the main countries is true Huawei, and mostly is Huawei BNG.
How about Telkomsel?
Huawei also have PNG in Telkomsel and WAG. Was also
And 100%
yeah
below to Huawei.
100%.
yeah device physical device. Yeah. So for Huawei's physical device, the WAG, our market share globally is number one.
Actually, most Asian countries select Huawei PNG the WAG, and 100% belong to Huawei. Because actually, for the PNG, no need too many platform. It's hard to maintain too many platform. Yeah. But in telecom, maybe from the balance the different vendors view, they select two vendor, yeah, Huawei and LG. But in most of the other Asian countries, they use Huawei 100% PNG.
Huawei and what? Huawei, what to vendor? Huawei or
Huawei and Ericsson.
Ericsson.
Oh,
Ericsson.
In Telkom.
In Telkom, yeah.
WAG and PNG.
Yeah, Ericsson.
And actually, in the past 3 months until now, we have the test about the end-to-end solution about the WAG, physical WAG in Bandung label. Bandung label, yeah. The
Lembong.
yeah, Bandung. From the telecom customer, STA department, they want us to maybe you know the customer Pahenki. Yeah, Pahenki. They asked us to do the end-to-end solution about the physical WAG from the AP through the metro connect to the WAG, then WAG connect to AC. The end-to-end solution, we are doing the test in Bandung level.
Because the telecom chain is their solution for the Wi-Fi connection. Before the AC is close to the AP. AC is the gateway of the AP. But now they want to change the structure. They want the AC just for management, not for the gateway of the AP. WAG just used as a gateway for AP. You will test the solution.
Iya, tanya lagi nggak Pak? Pak.
Pak Bayu, ada yang mau ditanya, Pak?
Sorry, nunggu itu use case-nya, aku pengen baca use case-nya dulu deh.
Oh, use case.
Okay, we will ask our HQ to provide the
Yeah.
because now we didn't prepare for this information.
Tadi kan klaimnya manajemennya bisa manage 2 sisi walaupun beda brand. Nah itu saya ingin tahu use case-nya. Kalau itu bisa terjadi artinya Huawei at least memenuhi syarat untuk dipertimbangkan. Ya kan?
Iya, Pak.
Secara solusi memberikan solusi lah gitu kira-kira.
Ya, Pak.
Secara teknis ya, technically. Tapi ada update yang menarik hari ini bahwa ternyata riset tentang performan fisik dan virtual itu begitu bedanya gitu, begitu jauh bedanya gitu. Itu yang menarik buat kita mungkin.
Ya.
Iya, Pak. Terkait respon time ya, Pak.
Performance.
Lanjut. Ya.
Ya, nanti.
The performance, integrate works, maintenance, and the cost. Yeah, because the cost is not 1.2 times or 1.5 times. The cost is several times. You can find that for the 600 Gbps. The cost. This is just for the physical device cost, not included in maybe the total cost is 10 times.
Yes.
10 times.
Sorry, you have a TCO calculation for some of implementation, maybe the system. I mean, not just a box, not just one box or a few box, but as a system. Do you have a total cost of ownership calculation TCO?
We cost the capex and the power
Yeah, I know.
energy.
I know, but as a system, not as just a box, because it's somehow if become the system, then the cost is different. So as a system, do you have TCO, total cost of ownership, either capex and opex?
Yes, capex, opex. Can you see my screen?
No, for Bayu, it's use case for not only one box.
This is not only one box. This is based on the traffic. Traffic is
Or based on traffic.
Yeah, for example, we just use 600 Gbps. This configuration, when we use a physical device, the cost, the capex cost is about 100. It's not clear. I just remove this color. This one. For example, the configuration is 600. The performance requirement is 600. The capex of the physical device.
Okay.
It includes
Configure meaning
this is the
they have 3 box.
no.
3 chassis.
One chassis and the 3 line cards.
Or 3 line.
This is a one chassis.
One chassis.
One chassis. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Seven.
Yeah.
Fast.
But only use three slot, 3 line card is enough.
Okay.
Because we all one line card is for the 200. And this is in fact this is the existing device, and this is a very old device. If we use the latest device, maybe the line card is one is enough.
Tetap harus beli chassisnya. We have buy for this all chassis.
Yeah.
Well, we must buy chassis.
Chassis. Jadi tinggal menyesuaikan ininya.
Iya. Line card-nya, line card.
If you we need over 13 servers and this the switch.
Yeah, and you can the space, the cost, the OPEX cost is much higher. And if we consider the manual system, and also we consider the supervisor, the cost maybe is much higher, maybe 2 times. So the final cost, maybe the virtualized platform is 10 times of physical platform. If the traffic goes bigger, the cost of gap is more, will become more. If we change, this is older platform, we change a latest platform, maybe the cost will be lower. The line card maybe we can save more line card.
Jadi use case-nya udah ada Pak Bayu dia. Dia bukan per box, dia kalau skenario 600 GB, skenario traffic-nya 400 sama yang 200.
Tapi kalau redundant harus tetap beli 2 chassis ya.
Ya.
Iya.
Tapi dia minimum tuh. Dia minimum 2 chassis berarti posisinya berapa? 6 kan? 6 line card.
Iya, tapi lu bisa beli 1 doang tadi. bisa beli satu line card doang, tapi
Iya.
tetap beli dua kalau mau redundant.
Redundant or not? Redundant.
If we contract with another,
And part of the deal. If we just use the line card redundant, maybe just double here from 3 to 6.
Okay.
If we want to double the chassis,
Yeah.
two chassis,
The
maybe
chassis
two
and
chassis.
fixed line card.
Yeah, yeah.
What about server? This is the safety.
if we want to also continue,
But
maybe you don't need to use another circuit, but at least you should have 10.
yeah, maybe just 10 because it's the centralizing.
Yeah, and this configuration is not include the WinF cost. Maybe the WinF cost is the same price with the hardware. I just calculated the server hardware is which cost.
Yes.
If you consider the software, maybe double. Maybe
The
double
software and the platform already included
software.
in the physical web application, but the software and the platform like the NFV not included in here. This is just the hardware platform. Then we need the software platform.
Yeah, three layer again.
Yeah.
Maybe WinF cost the same with hardware. So the cost, the CapEx
So
cost
it's double.
is double.
Yeah.
So finally, the cost, the total cost, maybe 10 times, 10 times. That's a one.
Question, Benki,
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Is it happen also in another scenario of implementation, not only for WAG?
Yes, in fact, it is also happened in BNG for the home brand service.
Almost all of the implementation will be better in the physical.
Yes, for the forwarding, if this service is mostly for forwarding, the physical device is better. If the service is focused on calculation, maybe the CPU is better. The virtualized platform is better. For example, the mobile service include many calculations. Yes, so they use the virtualized platform. But in fact, we just discussed here, for the UPF of the for mobile service, maybe the physical device is better, but because of the industry choose, the finally choose the virtualized. Because some mobile core expert just discussed with us. They think if for the UPF of mobile core, maybe choose the physical is better, but they choose the industry, they choose the virtualized platform. There's no physical platform choosing, so they cannot choose physical. But for the home brand, for the fixed service, the Wi-Fi and the home brand service, we have two choices.
Could you show the page 4? Could you show the page 4?
Page 4
Page 4
in your slides.
in your slide.
Page 4.
Page 4.
Yes.
Page.
Itu layarnya banyak, Pak.
Yeah, because the Wi-Fi service, we just need to process in layer 3. So the package is just how to say the line card will process all the packages. But for mobile service, it will include many calculation service function. So the CPU and the virtual and the application, the service processing software will process the package. So the process is more complex. More complex.
Sorry. What the extent of NP?
NP is a network processor.
Network processor. LPU. What's LPU extent of?
LPU is line card.
Line PU. What's PU?
Process unit.
Line card process unit.
Yeah, the line card process unit is the most important chipset is NP. NP is the chipset for the forwarding, and for the
mobile phone. They use CPU. They use CPU.
That's based on FPGA technology or something.
Not FPGA. This is how to say. This is network ASIC and
ASIC. Okay, I know. Based on ASIC, yeah.
yeah, it's a program ASIC, not the traditional ASIC, because the switch must choose ASIC chipset because the switch is the network function is simple. Not too many programming function in switch. The switch is simple. Just works on layer 2 layer.
It's a traditional network.
Yeah, but for the router is more complex than the switch. So this MP chipset is the programmable ASIC.
Okay. Let's say we want to deploy the function of the load balancer or firewall, where we can deploy in a lab site.
We support, for example, in one chassis, we support the line card load balancer for protection, and also we support device load balancer in one side or in different side. All the load balancer solution and the protection solution is very mature.
So it's already built in a NP, the capability.
The load balancer can based on the MP, based on the line card, and also based on the device, different device or different sites.
Okay, see. I'm waiting your use case, yeah.
Okay. We will ask HQ to provide this information. No problem, please. 对，编辑的in your BNG use case in Europe.
Huawei BNG use case in Europe.
Yeah, because this is not limited by the US policy. Not like the mobile phone. Because mobile phone touch the application layer. So US and Europe countries have some concern for this. But for the router, we don't have this limitation.
Actually, I think for the WAG, the physical is better than the visualization solution. But actually, Huawei also have the visualization platform. But it most is for the focus IT for the IT system. Maybe my colleague also can share the Huawei physical visualization platform.
Maybe I have only one slide.
Yeah.
I will share it. When this or I just share already.
Thank you.
Wait a moment.
One slide.
various applications on it because the CT domain, the function is relatively simple, right? Just access, transfer the data, But for the IT domain, we have maybe tens of thousands of applications, and all the levels of the IT domain is very standard. Yeah. For the server domain, we have x86 with the Intel chips, and then for the OS, we have the VMware virtualization or Huawei cloud stack, which is the cloud OS, and then we have the middleware, and then have tens of thousands of applications. So in the IT domain, we think it should be specialized or even cloudified, make it like a cloud. And as you can see here, what Huawei provide now is the cloud platform is more than the virtualization platform. Yeah. So in that cloud, you can see we have the hardware, we have the cloud OS, which is the cloud operating system, and then we have the infrastructure of the service, which makes the computing of the service, storage of the service, network of the service, everything of the service, and then we have the platform of the service, the container and the microservice service on our cloud, and then you have the data platform like Hadoop, like the Spark, or even as Oracle or relational database. So we think based on all of that, we have the Huawei cloud stack, which we regard it as a private cloud, which is more than virtualization, because virtualization actually is a technology roughly 3 years ago, right? And now everybody, we are talking about IT, we are talking about application, nobody talking about virtualization anymore. And then you can see based on Huawei cloud service, you can have your internal IT application, including the BSS, MSS deploy on it, and you have your digital application deploy on that, including the web channel, and some music, game, video application developed on the Huawei cloud stack. And then you have the innovation applications such as AI, data deploy on that. So I think that's the basic concept of what we propose. The more it goes to network domain, you should use the specific physical solution. And the more you go to the IT domain, you should use the cloud platform. Yeah. I think that's all for the introduction about what's the cloud platform for certain applications and virtualization and what kind of application is the physical hardware or even specific physical hardware.
Yes. Okay. In this slide, you say cloud OS, cloud operating system.
Yes.
This is what architecture we have to deploy. Yes.
Actually, as you can see, the
the server. What is Intel based or
Intel based?
Intel based.
As you can see, the server it can be Intel based and can also be ARM based.
ARM based.
Both of them.
Okay.
Maybe you have more understanding about that. This is
okay.
Overview. Yeah, that. As you can see here, you in the chips you have Intel. Intel, that is the x86, yeah, and then we have the Huawei Kunpeng, that is the Huawei ARM-based chips, and also the NPU we have Ascent, that is used for AI, and then for the infrastructure we have Taishan, which is based on Kunpeng. Taishan is the brand of server, which is based on the chips of Kunpeng.
Taishan is RM based.
Atlas is based on Ascent. Atlas is the server name, based on Ascent GPU NPU chips for data and big data, and x86 server based on the Intel chips. And for intelligent data and storage, we have Ocean Store. I think we just sell Ocean Store to Telecom with Sigma together, yeah. And we have the big storage also, and the level also provides switch and routers. And in the ICE platform, as you can see, we have the Queenscale third party virtualization, and then pass the DAS.
Where Dorado? Dorado.
Dorado is the Ocean Store. Dorado.
Oh.
Ocean Store have two types. Several types. The first type, Ocean Store.
Hybrid.
561 blah 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 blah. Which is hybrid, and then have Ocean Store Dorado 5,000, 6,000, 8,000, blah blah blah. So Dorado also belongs to the Ocean Store. Ocean Store is the brand name of our centralized storage. So centralized storage, you can have all flash named Dorado, you can have hybrid named ocean store 5, blah, 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 ocean store 6, blah, blah, blah. And then the floating storage is a distributed storage. So many centralized storage and then distributed storage. And then, of course, under it, you have many subcategories there.
So thank you.
Yeah, maybe this one more clear, yeah.
We slide before. If this is for IS platform, you can use Fusion Sphere from Huawei and third party.
Yeah, third-party virtualization compatible.
Yes. Well, how about the support? Like we have third party IS platform in here, but
It's just management from the menu one.
you have compatibility matrix or the third party association.
For the third-party compatibility, actually, of course, this part belongs to customer, or whoever, and then we use the fundamental from menu one to manage all of this, including Huawei, current card, and third-party virtualization, for example, VMware, and then our public cloud, which is the cloud. And for the third-party virtualization, you need to be limited function as a basic detection and report sharing, because the third-party the API is from them. How much and how much API we need to open. So it's here. If we can do it, but usually we prefer to do it like that. Without this, how we use the private cloud by ourselves. And if you have legacy virtualization, one application running and then still running, we don't suggest to manage it itself, but to share with the put all of it.
This is support for
Kubernetes and Docker. This is
management only for manage and provisioning or for orchestration and automation.
For Huawei domain, if you use management as the Huawei private cloud, Huawei public cloud, the capability is very powerful, including provisioning, including the reporting, including learning, blah, blah, blah. Automation, yes, of course. But for third party, as I just said, that depends on how many APIs we need to open to us and connect to our new one to show the history request. Just you know this one. Yes. Maybe this is US. No, this has nothing to do with the US. This is each vendor's policy. For example, if you ask the Red Hat to manage VMware, I don't think VMware will support it. Same, yeah. It has nothing to do with American, China, blah, blah, blah. So I think usually they will open the basic data.
Can you provide the maybe compatibility metrics? Maybe in a particular solution we have version 7. How about management version?
But I don't suggest we consider this at the beginning. To make it simple, we can start from very small. So the IT domain. So I have a target level here, and I have some application in it, and if as you see, this target cloud is good, we grow progressively. Alright, we most of the exam there is a power private cloud application and HCS power cloud stack. Very small, and you have a very huge virtualization platform or legacy platform, and ask the power to business. I don't think it's probably that. Power have a very small platform, others have a big, and you ask this small one, and it's a big one. Yeah, not probably right. So I think at the beginning, we concentrate on the power private cloud first, if you want virtualization. But this is for the IT domain. For the network domain, my colleague suggested to use a physical key to support me.
Dan sempat juga bilang dingin. Ada beberapa PA yang dapat digabung dari
yang dari tanah.
Iya.
这个可能东西没特别那个意思啊。 for the whole network, some part is better still use the physical network components, like the WAG and the BNG, like some, and for the mobile phone, they have their full stack. But for other parts, if the other parts, they focus on the calculation, it's better use the virtualization or cloud platform to do it, will save the TCO. Yes. And I might also find the
case.
use case, in the Europe. We can check.
Oke. Pak Bayu ini Pak, use case-nya Pak.
Mana Rek?
Ini
Itu
Pak,
mau di-share Pak.
mau di-show Pak. Yang di Europe.
Yeah, I just find the use case from in 2021 H1. This is for the just in H1 we have so many cases in different regions. For example, the Western Europe, we have KPN. Last year H1 KPN we already deploy our routers for the PNG for PNG. KPN is Netherlands. Papua carrier operator, Netherlands, and
Netherlands.
Netherlands. Yeah, this is KPN, and this is Posta. Posta is a Luxembourg.
Okay.
Luxembourg Papua carrier operator also have our routers. This is just a case in 2021 H1. Just in this half year. This is
And what the brand of the others?
Huh?
The brand, the
What
other
brand? Others brands in apa inside
which
in your use case, what another brand?
what brand? What brand?
Other vendors.
other vendors.
Oh,
Other
For
vendors.
example, this is KPN. Before they use Nokia's router
Okay.
as BNG, and after this project is in 2021. We get this project, and they choose Huawei and Samsung, Huawei router for the BNG. This is KPN, including Nokia and Huawei, and this is post this information with other vendor, but anyway for the platform routers they choose Huawei. Huawei routers, BNG routers, and the backbone routers use the same platform, software platform.
Okay. This Huawei and
Yeah.
this Nokia.
This is I don't know which is the metro. We don't know which vendor, but this platform belongs to Huawei. And this KPN, Netherlands KPN, they use Huawei BNG, but the platform maybe they use Nokia's. Before they use all they use Nokia's. And this is a poster. Luxembourg poster. Luxembourg poster. The platform is Huawei's, but we don't know the matrix. I don't know. Maybe other my colleague knows how. We didn't get this information. And this is the Italy. Vodafone.
Okay.
Vodafone. They also use Huawei's routers. And this is for the OSP, Orange span. And they use Huawei's routers for the routers. And this is for West Europe, and this is for North Europe. This is Finland. Lisa, Finland Lisa. And this is from Finland DNA, Finland DNA. And this is from Turkcell. Turkcell. This is Turkey is number one operator. From Telenor. Telenor is cross countries carrier operator in North Europe. And no, and this is tier 2. Tier 2. This is Stockholm in Switzerland. This is a case just in 2021 H1 case, just here.
Europe, yeah.
In Europe.
One question. I think it's a very basic question. What the most value of the operator if we got to implement using the Huawei comparing to others? The value. What's the most
Okay.
value?
First, for market share of Huawei is BNG and WG. In fact, most BNG and WG use the same platform. While BNG the market share probably is number 1, especially in Asia Pacific region. In this region, our market share is over, I think, over 70%. 70%. And second, in fact, we have many advanced functions. For example, we call the IP functions. With this function, we can we can detect the service quality based on application, based on the user level and application level information. Based on these informations, can help us to do the marketing. For example, we find that some users prefer game, so we can push some game package to such a customer. And some users prefer online meeting, for example, they are working from home, so we can push some working from home package to such users. This is always advanced functions. Just for the BNG and WG, BNG function, BNG market share, and especially in Asia Pacific region.
Sorry, what's the value?
First, the market share, why is number 1, and second, how we can provide many advanced functions which other vendors cannot provide. We call the IP function. With the IP function, then we try to find the one size to show the IP.
Yang sigma untuk iya terus di sigma yang kita punya bakal Windows-nya itu apa ada yang menunjukkan terus itu
Can you see my screen? Yeah, this is how unique solution. With this solution, we can first we can detect or identify different types of applications and also provide many use cases. For example, we can help you to improve your customer experience. You can find which customer experience application layer experience is good or not good, and solve this problem. Also, we can provide some information. For example, some customers, some users, prefers to play online game. So we can find this information and then help our marketing guy to push some game package to such users, or find that this family maybe is rich because their family use iPhone, use high-end mobile phones. So maybe this family is rich. So we can provide push some beta package to such a family. This is just one case. to help us to do the marketing. This is Huawei's Unique solution. In fact, we already deployed this solution in Telecom and in XCL and Orange. Already deployed this solution. And also this solution help Huawei win the project. This is just a general information. We maybe for the comparison, for the details, for example, our performance, our specification of our physical device is better than other vendors. This is the details. But for the generals, we can provide. First of all, we have the top one market share, and we have good teams to deliver in the maintenance. And second, we have Unique solutions to help you to do the marketing. And we are doing the test for the QE.
Interesting.
Yeah, for the complete this step up.
Mana Pak Bayu?
Ya. Ada gambaran lah dikit. Kalau itu apa itu? Menu capability itu apa itu isinya itu?
For the capability, for our latest platform, we have one platform support 40 per slot, and maximum just support 16 service slot. We have 16 service slot, 8 service slot, and 4 service slot. 3 types of device, and each slot support 40. This is the maximum for BNG. The BNG maximum of platform. Well, this can this is a existing device in Telecom. This is very old, 10 years before. In this platform, support 8 slot, and this slot support 200 T. 200 Gbps, not T, sorry. 200 Gbps. And our latest platform supported 4 Tbps slot. And we have 8 slot, 4 slot, and 16 slot, 3 types of device.
Ya, ada tadi PW kita tapi nggak ada kementerian. Nggak ada kementerian tadi. Kan? Nggak ada kementerian. Makanya kalau kementerian.
FWG aja kan.
Iya. Dia physical WA gitu. Katanya dari Thomas nggak.
Can we asking for the demo or POC? Penki?
POC tester.
Yeah, POC tester.
For the
Demo or whatever demo or POC.
Demo or POC.
Okay, you can. Okay, I think we already tested in Telecom before. You mean we just tested in Telecom?
Okay, yeah.
That's for what? For the
Physical
Physical.
I think it's okay.
Maybe demo or or POC too many ini apa ya.
If POC too difficult, will be better demo lah.
Iya.
Demo. Okay.
Okay, we can prepare for this.
Demo
You want to check the
end-to-end solution.
Include the AP, include the Wi-Fi AP.
Yes.
Actually, we just do it 2 months ago to Henkia,
Okay.
and I can share the test report to you.
If we have further test, we can later. Already just 1 month or 2 months ago.
Yeah, just in October, yeah,
October.
2 months ago, 1 month ago actually.
Oke. Jadi dulu udah pernah demo Pak sama Pak Hengki orang dari SDA Telkom.
I will share our solution and the test report to you later.
Oke. Jadi nanti mau di-share apa hasil reportnya kemarin yang demo dengan Telkom.
Probably Sigma will be pointed by Telkom to be provide the solution for the next. That's why he asking you for the demo.
Okay, if Sigma want to just a test, we can arrange our HQ to prepare the test.
Yeah.
Just the HQ test is okay.
Kalau di kantor pusatnya, dia bilang di kantor pusatnya nggak apa-apa Pak.
Kan bisa aja demo itu remote juga.
Ya, remote.
Okay.
But we can understand the whole system will be completed. You can conduct in somewhere in the world lah, whatever lah.
Gimana Pak? Sorry Pak.
Dia bisa bikin di manapun di dunia lah. Kita tinggal follow aja.
You can somewhere apa?
You can deploy in deployment in whatever lah, whenever and whatever, and show us the demo.
Okay. We have our HQ lab have the device.
It's okay.
Okay, no problem.
It's okay.
Okay. We can prepare this.
It's okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, then after this meeting, we will discuss with HQ and give you a plan.
Okay.
The test.
Ada lagi Pak Bayu?
Sementara cukup ya, kita kayaknya perlu diskusi internal juga nih.
Iya Pak, boleh Pak.
Mintain presentasinya kalau bisa.
Boleh. Can you share the presentation slide?
Yeah, okay.
Maybe you can email or
Okay. This is my name card. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So any technological question or issue, you can connect me.
Okay.
And I will send the material to you.
Okay.
And after we discuss with HQ about the demo, I also will report to you.
Yeah. Ada yang mau ditanyain Mas Madi?
Belum.
Masih ngawang-ngawang.
Lebih ngawang lagi.
Okay.
tim Huawei yang bisa bahasa Indonesia siapa itu? Ya.
Ada Pak tadi.
Hari ini yang bisa bahasa Indonesia siapa tuh?
Nggak ada Pak, tadi udah saya tanya. Coba nanti saya tanya lagi nih.
Enggak, maksudnya kapan dijadwalkan lah supaya dia komit. Biasanya ada salesnya.
Iya, itu juga dari itu Pak, dari luar.
Ya, kapan bisa di arrange?
Oke, coba Pak nanti saya ini ya, saya tanya nih Pak ya.
Ya, ya. Masuk kan sing bahasa Indonesia. Anti. Okay, for me it's enough. Maybe Pak Alter, Pak Bobby, or Pak Made have something to asking.
Oke, enough Pak. From me, Mas Made.
Enough.
Thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for.
Thank you, Pak. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will be glad if you leave the presentation for us to become the reference and study for us.
Evan is a sales. Evan. Evan.
Evan is our account manager.
Oh, account manager. Yes.
The product manager.
Okay.
Focus on the product and the solution.
And oh, okay.
For me, I'm the solution manager for
Solution.
IT and cloud.
Okay, okay.
I focus on the datacom domain,
Telecom,
Yeah.
IP. Okay. Yes, it's okay. It's okay.
Cloud IT virtualization, which you come to me, I don't come to them.
Okay. Thank you for
Yes.
this presentation.
Thank you.